Why is it hard to thumbnail dynamic poses for concept art? Imagine trying to catch lightning in a bottle with just a few quick strokes. That's what thumbnailing dynamic poses feels like in concept art. It's all about capturing energy, movement, and emotion in a tiny sketch. But why does it feel so tricky? Well, it boils down to a few key reasons. First, the line of action is everything. It's a curved line that shows the flow and energy of the pose. Getting this line right in a small thumbnail takes confidence and quick thinking. If the gesture looks stiff or awkward, the whole pose loses its sense of movement. Next, balancing anatomy and proportion is a challenge. Even in rough sketches, the anatomy must look believable enough to suggest real or stylized motion. When limbs twist or overlap, simplifying these shapes without losing clarity is tough. Thumbnails are meant to be quick and loose, but complex overlapping forms and foreshortening can make it hard to keep the pose readable. Simplifying complex shapes is another hurdle. Dynamic poses often have overlapping angles and forms that are hard to reduce without losing depth or volume. You want the silhouette to pop but not become confusing. Then there's the character's personality. The pose needs to show who they are, what they're feeling, and what story they tell. Balancing expressiveness with clarity in a tiny sketch is a fine art. Foreshortening adds even more difficulty. Parts of the body that are closer to the viewer appear shorter and distorted. Representing this accurately in a small thumbnail requires a good grasp of perspective and spatial relationships. And let's not forget the pressure of time. Thumbnailing is often a quick process to explore many ideas. When you're rushing, it's harder to capture the energy and details that make a pose feel alive. To make it work, digital artists often experiment with exaggerated silhouettes and bold lines. Using layers and opacity helps build gesture gradually without overworking the sketch. References like photos, 3D models, or even animation frames can guide the pose while keeping it fresh. The key is to focus on loose, expressive marks rather than tiny details. Doing multiple thumbnails allows artists to see which pose best conveys the intended emotion or story before refining. In the end, thumbnailing dynamic poses is a balancing act. It's about simplifying without losing energy, anatomy without overcomplicating, and speed without sacrificing clarity. Mastering gesture, anatomy, and silhouette helps artists overcome these challenges and bring their character ideas to life with impact.